guys, you're right, it's Connor here again, and today's video, as you can see by the title, is going to be tips and how to deal with being transgender, or how I dealt with it. I'm going to give you a few stages of my life, what sort of things I went through in them, how I changed them to make myself feel more comfortable, and then after this I'm going to give you tips on how to maybe you can feel comfortable, or you feel a little bit less stressed, knowing that you can reach out to people or something like that. But yeah, so to get on with it, the first stage is going to be about how I dealt with it at school. So basically at school was very, I think it was like one of the, not the lowest times of my life, but it was a very low time in my life. I obviously, you have to fit into the stereotype of what you wear, how you present yourself, and it was a real struggle. And I ended up cutting my hair to about here, because I thought that was as much as I'll be able to do to make myself feel a little bit more happier about my presentation, how I present myself, but to still fit in with a sort of like social group, even though I didn't really fit in with anything. I only had like 2 main friends, but to fit in with that sort of like, not get bullied or anything like that, I persuaded myself to believe that no, I'm lying to myself. No, I'm a girl. Like, I'm gonna wear makeup every day to school. I'm gonna wear my skirts. I'm gonna wear my tights, and I'm gonna have a handbag and have my longish, shortish hair, and I'll be able to fit in and I'll be able to be okay. And it wasn't the case, and it was a living nightmare, to be honest, and I hated every second of it. Everyone's like, oh, it's not that bad, but when you have to go through that every single day, you're not only lying to everyone else, but you're lying to yourself as well, and that hurts the most, because you're having to look in yourself in the mirror every single day, and it sucks. It genuinely sucks, and it's horrible, and it's just a nightmare. So obviously during school I was just like, oh yeah, I know I'm different and everything, but I was just like, you know what, I could just tell everyone I'm a lesbian, because that would be far more easier than having to change everything and to make everyone understand what I was going through. So I pretty much lied to myself, and I was like, yeah, I'm just a lesbian, but everyone else, I told them that as well, and that's what they believed for some time as well. But then it got towards like the end of the year, and I was like, I can't do this anymore, and it got to like the stage of prom, and I realised it's not going to be that easy, so I ended up not going to prom in the end. And I just realised, if I can't dress how I want to at prom and spend all that money on how I want to in a suit, and be who I want to be for just one night, then it's no point going. So I didn't end up going in the end, and I realised if I had to go to prom, then my dad would have been like, well, you're wearing a dress, you're getting your hair, you're getting your nails done, and I didn't want any of that. And yeah, so that I was just like, no, just save yourself money, Dad. I just can't be bothered to go. He was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But yeah, and that finished, and school finished, and I felt a little bit more free until obviously college. And I didn't even last like 2 weeks at college. It's just, I ended up like getting paranoid every single day, and panic attacks before I even went to college. And I kept my hair like that sort of same length, and I wish I had cut it shorter then, because it would have made things so much easier. But the problem was that I was a friend my friend at college, she hung around with someone else that was transgender as well, but obviously no one knew at this time that I was transgender. So her best friend at the time was transgender, and being around him made me feel really uncomfortable, and I was like, well, there can't be two transgender people in this circle, friend circle. So I ended up still wearing all the same boyish clothes that I would wear outside of school anyway and college, but I still had my hair long. I still went by my birth name, and she and her, and it just made me so uncomfortable. I was just terrified, absolutely terrified, and I just didn't know what to do anymore. So I think that was one of my lowest times, having to like have panic attacks every single day just because I was afraid to admit to myself who I was and to admit to everyone else. But yeah, when I started work, I was working at the time of college, and that was still bad as well, and I realised I'm going to have to do something about it. So I ended up speaking to my manager, and she was amazing because she's a lesbian herself, so I thought it would be really good to speak to her about it, because she would understand sort of my situation. She would accept me. So I spoke to her, and she was happy about it. I ended up crying on her for ages, and I was an emotional wreck. Just say that. Yeah, I was an absolute emotional wreck, and so yeah, I came up to her, and then it wasn't until a year late. I think it was like just under a year later. I what's it called? I cut my hair short, like a few weeks after I came out to her. But then, about nearly just under a year after that, I ended up coming out to everyone else, and so yeah. So now they know me as Connor, and he and him, and it's great. They get my name muddled up sometimes. I've been called Colin. Someone at work's gone, Connor, have you seen Tia? That was something else, and I was like, nope, she's dead. So it was, yeah, that was terrifying. But yeah, work's so much better now, and I'm able to be who I want to be, and home is something different. I'm still working on that. I'm still waiting for my appointments, and it's stressful, but I'm getting there. Slowly, but yeah. So yeah, that's sort of like how I have dealt with it. Is basically ended up admitting to myself, presenting myself to how I see myself in the future. So short hair, dressing how I want to dress, not how society sees me. And I've dealt it by speaking to people and making difficult decisions that could possibly turn back round on me and make the situation so much worse, but they ended up being so much better, and I took that risk, and I'm glad I did, because now I don't know like how else I'm meant to like enjoy my life without this being the next step forward. If I don't get past that, then I'm not going to be able to do anything else. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be where I want to be. And being back down that road in school and college, that is not who I am. I'm not going to pretend and lie to everyone that that's me, because it's not. And yeah, so I'm going to give you a few tips in a second, obviously, through what I've been through, how I can, obviously, if I went back in time, I'll be like, right, you need to do this. If you did this, your life would be like easier, or, you know, tips I would give to myself back in to help me. But yeah, so I've wrote down here, so it says, come out. So the first step is come out when you're ready. So don't feel like you have to come out just because, say if you've told your friends but you haven't told your family. Don't feel like you should come out to your family just because your friends said that you have to. be like, no, I want to do it when I'm ready, when I feel, because obviously each family is different, they take it differently. My family took it really well, which is I'm very grateful for. But yeah, come out when you're ready. Don't feel like you have to come out on National Coming Out Day, because that day is a thing and people feel pressured into doing it that day, which isn't right. But yeah, the next one is believe in yourself, because time will end up doing its thing. If you keep going, if you keep making the choices of what you feel is right, then do it. Just straight up do it, because you'll regret it and you will feel like you haven't achieved anything later on. Yeah, like I said, time will do its own thing, and you'll end up being 10 years down the line and you'll be like, wow, like I've come so far and I've changed, and it's going to be a great feeling to look back on yourself. But always remember that you are all individually unique and you are all individually amazing. And if you keep telling yourself that each day, you're going to feel a bit more motivated to do things for yourself as well, which I now realise that I had to do, because I have the lowest self-esteem going. And just to be told, maybe like, not every day, but if I got told regularly, like, you can do it, or you're amazing, or you're gonna be that handsome man that you've always dreamed of, then I think I would have, like, I think up in here I would be 10 times more confident than what I am today, which would have obviously helped me a lot. But yeah, what I wrote down here as well is reach out to other people in your situation. So I'm on this app called the LGBT Amino app, and basically you can just speak to anyone in the LGBT community. You have, like, see, your trans people, the bisexual, pansexual, lesbian, gay, there's straight people on there, just whoever. Like, it's just amazing to hear other people's stories, talk to people in your in your situation, and if you can, guys can go through it together, and you're not alone. You know, same as like your doctor. If you feel you are alone, go to your doctor. I went to my doctors a few times, and she's helped me out so much. She's put me in places, and she's led me in the right direction, which I am more than grateful for her, because she is just, my doctor is amazing, and I don't think I would have been here now because of her, because she's pointed me in the right directions of where I want to go, and I wouldn't have known who to turn to, I wouldn't have known where to start, and yet here I am waiting for appointments that I thought I would never have gotten a year down, like, the line or something like that. But yeah, I'm sorry this is a long video, but if you did enjoy this video and you've got any more tips for people in the LGBT that you think that would help them, comment them down below. Give this a like and thumb it up and subscribe as well. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.